You know what's the most terrifying part of a major global crisis? It's not what you see on the news. It's that gut-wrenching moment you realize the money in your wallet, the numbers in your bank account, they've suddenly become worthless. Today, we're going to flip that fear on its head and turn it into a real, actionable plan. This explainer is all about how you can build practical resilience for your family. And it starts with simple items you can find at any grocery store.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll quickly touch on the why this conversation is so important right now. Then we get to the good stuff, the what, a priority kit of 8 life-saving items. From there, we'll get into the how, smart ways to store your stuff, and the new rules of bartering. After that, we'll talk about skills, community, and the final crucial step, actually testing if you're ready. It's a complete roadmap to giving you some real peace of mind.
So the source material really paints a vivid picture. Think about it. With all the tensions in the world, a major shipping lane gets blocked and suddenly the global supply chain just stops. It's happened before. History shows us that when things get tough, physical goods, stuff you can actually use, become way more valuable than paper money. The real question isn't if something could disrupt our lives, but are you going to be ready when it does?
So, where do you even start with all this? Well, it's not with fancy, expensive gadgets. It's with simple, affordable stuff that most of us completely overlook every single day. The source points to 8 specific items that become the bedrock of survival when all our modern conveniences just vanish. Let's break them down, one by one.
First on the list, and this might be the most surprising one, is just plain old table salt. It costs next to nothing right now, but in a crisis, its value goes through the roof. And not just for making food taste better, it's a critical survival tool.
I mean, just look at the superpowers of salt. When the power's out, your fridge is just a cold box. Salt becomes your refrigerator, keeping meat and fish from spoiling. If you're working hard and sweating, a pinch of salt in your water replaces electrolytes and can literally save you from deadly dehydration. You can even use it to clean wounds to stop an infection in its tracks. And yeah, throughout history, it's been used as currency. It becomes an incredibly valuable item to trade.
Okay, next up, let's talk about your own personal power grid. When a blackout lasts for weeks, not hours, a good LED flashlight is an absolute must-have for safety. But here's the real game changer, creating your own power. A big power bank can keep your phone or a small radio running, which is your lifeline to information. But the key to the whole system is that portable solar panel. That's what gives you true independence from a grid that's gone down.
In our world, if something breaks, we call a pro. But in a crisis, guess what? You're the pro. That's where good old-fashioned hand tools come in. A solid hammer, a saw, some pliers. Their magic is that they run on your power, not electricity. You'll need them for everything from boarding up a window for security, to fixing a leaky roof, to cutting firewood for heat. Trust me, you want to invest in quality tools that won't break on you.
This is a serious one. When hospitals are overwhelmed, even a small cut can become a life-threatening infection. Your first aid kit becomes your family's ER. It needs to be stocked with antiseptics, bandages, the works. And don't forget basic meds like pain relievers and anti-diarrhea medicine, because bad sanitation can become a huge problem. And here's what's absolutely crucial. If anyone in your family needs prescription meds, getting a multi-month supply ahead of time is a top priority. In a crisis, these things have almost unlimited value.
You can survive for weeks without food, but you've only got a few days without clean water. Period. When the tap water stops, you'll have to rely on sources like rivers or rain barrels, and you have to assume that water is contaminated. Simple purification tablets are a great, easy solution. A portable filter is even better. It can make thousands of liters of sketchy water safe to drink on the spot. This isn't just about being thirsty. It's about stopping deadly diseases like cholera before they start.
Let's talk about one of the most basic human tools ever, making fire. With no gas or electricity, fire does 3 critical things for you. It cooks your food, making it safe to eat. It boils your water, which is a foolproof way to purify it, and it keeps you warm, preventing hypothermia. Now, disposable lighters are fine, but they can run out of fuel or get wet and fail. That's why you absolutely need a waterproof ferro rod. It just works every time in any weather.
Okay, so you've started gathering these essential items. Awesome, but that's only half the story. Now we have to talk strategy, because having the supplies is one thing, but protecting them and knowing how to navigate a world without stores or money, that's a whole different ballgame.
So many people make this one mistake. They piled everything in the basement. That makes you a huge target. The source calls this the hidden zoning method, and it's brilliant. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You spread your supplies out in several smaller hidden spots. Think under the floorboards, in the attic, maybe even buried in the yard inside sealed, waterproof containers. The whole point is that if someone finds one stash, you don't lose everything.
This slide really says it all. The entire idea of an economy gets turned upside down. Forget prices and profits. In a barter system, value is all about who needs what right now. A bottle of antibiotics could be worth more than gold. And every trade you make has to be quiet and discreet, because you don't want to advertise what you have. It's an economy that runs on trust and pure necessity, not cash.
And that brings us to what might be the single most important rule of all of this: operational security, OPS. Or in plain English, keep your mouth shut. The source is really blunt here. Telling people what you have stockpiled, even just friends or neighbors you aren't 100% sure about, is a terrible idea. When people get desperate, that information makes you a target. Your preps are for you and your immediate family. Full stop.
You know, you can have a room full of the best supplies in the world, but they're useless if you don't know what to do with them. So this next layer of being prepared isn't about what you have, it's about what you know. And as you're about to see, skills become one of the most valuable things you can possibly possess.
Think about it. That first aid kit is just a box of stuff until someone knows how to use it to stop a bad bleed. A radio is just a paperweight if nobody knows how to fix it. Practical skills like first aid, gardening, fixing things, purifying water, they become a new kind of currency. You can trade your skills for food or protection, and it makes you a valuable member of your community.
All right, we've arrived at what might be the most critical part of this entire explainer. We've talked about gear, we've talked about skills, but none of that matters if the human element breaks down. Your mindset and your relationships with others are what will truly see you through a crisis.
Panic is the real enemy here. The ability to just take a deep breath, accept the situation for what it is, and make a clear-headed decision is everything. And you can't do it alone. This idea of the lone wolf survivor is a movie myth. In reality, a lone wolf is just a target. The smart move is to build a small network with neighbors you trust before anything happens. Then you can work together on things like security or pooling resources. This idea of mutual help becomes a literal shield for everyone.
So, we come to the final step. And honestly, this is the one that separates a piece of paper from a real workable plan. A plan is just a theory until you test it. You've got to find the weak spots in your setup before you're in a real emergency. And that's where practice comes in.
Look how simple and doable this is. You can start this schedule this month. On week 1, just flip the main breaker to your house for 4 hours on a Saturday night. See if you can cook a meal and get by with your flashlights. The next weekend, go to a local creek and practice using your water filter. Run a little first aid drill. These aren't about being perfect. They're about finding the holes in your plan while the stakes are low.
And this is so important. This has to be a team effort. Every single person in your family, kids included, needs to know the basics of the plan. They should know where the first aid kit is, where the emergency water is, and what the rally point is if you get separated. When everyone knows their role, a family stops being a group of scared individuals and starts being a resilient, coordinated team.
So let's just end on this thought. The food, the water filter, the tools, at the end of the day, they're just things. Your most important asset isn't your stuff. It's your readiness. It's the knowledge in your head, the skills you practiced, and the plan you've built with your loved ones. This isn't about spending a ton of money. It's about making a smart investment in your family's safety. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.